Hey folks, so today we're going to be talking about SWOT analysis. So, I'm Rakesh. A few things about me. I work as a product manager at Microsoft and I worked previously in venture capital. My hobbies do include Naga, focusing on my podcast, as well as racing the track when I have some time. What is SWOT analysis? Well, SWOT is a fundamental framework and it stands for strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. It's a great foundational tool for analyzing a company and industry. So, what are the strengths of SWOT? Well, it's simple. It helps kind of identify future risks and opportunities and looks at the company and the industry on a holistic and high level. It's good enough for leadership to understand as well. What are some weaknesses? It oversimplifies a lot of things. It's too high level. It's a double-edged sword. You don't get the exact detail and data points that you want. It can be biased because it comes from a singular or a team's viewpoint. And it requires complementary tools added on top of it to make sure you get the best value out of it. Let's start with the internal analysis, the strengths. Some example of strengths of a company could be something like strong reputation, innovative product or service, technology, cost advantages, economics of scale, financial resources, debt to credit ratios, etc. What are some examples of weaknesses? It could be outdated technology, the opposite of strengths, the lack of resources, low employee morale, bad company image, limited product portfolio and innovation. What about external analysis? We look at opportunities and threats. Coming to opportunities, it has many different avenues. You can look at the competitive advantage. It helps provide future challenges in a proactive approach. It helps identify new markets and revenue streams for growth, and new technologies and trends at the same time. And like we discussed, it helps with identifying regulatory changes, emerging markets, and new ways and pathways of innovation. Threats, like we discussed, it's a way of looking at potential risks and obstacles for the company moving forward. It helps identify areas of vulnerability and prioritizes areas where the company needs to focus their time and energy at. It helps analyze the competition to a good level as well. Some example could be analyzing the competition, economic downturns, political and legal issues, negative publicity, etc. Let's look at the limitations one more time. Like I said, in summary, it oversimplifies and does not dive into complex issues, and there is no guidance or prioritization of this framework. It's not dynamic enough to fit the needs of an ever-growing industry and a market. And like I said, it's a good foundational tool, but it's not a great way to look forward at. Modification, I would add a more detailed market analysis, include stakeholder perspectives, use additional data sources to bolster your points, and make sure you include other tools like pest analysis, the BCG matrix, to make sure you analyze the product and company in a holistic level, in a much more deeper sense. Let's look at the application to Meta, also formerly known as Facebook. If you take a look on a high level, the strengths of the company include a strong brand image, a large user base, and a diverse portfolio of products and services. When you look at the weaknesses, the many concerns about data privacy and security, there's bad negative company image when how it handled the data leak in the past few years, and the involvement of the election campaign. It has too much of a reliance on advertising revenue and many political and regulatory risks. Some opportunities do include looking into different avenue streams like virtual and augmented reality, focusing on different growth markets, not just in the US, and monetizing these markets. Some threats do include, like we discussed, increasing competition and a dependency on other competitors. For example, the Apple's new policy for iOS marketing kind of affected Facebook's ad revenue on a long sense, and something like that is a huge threat. Changing consumer behavior. As consumers grow and get older, they want new products and don't usually find the same products that way they were used in a similar fashion to their liking. Social backlash of the company, etc. Just diving a bit deeper into the strengths, with a large user base, it's a powerhouse when it comes to customer data and customer loyalty. Now we have to dive a little bit deeper into the brand image. Taking a look at Meta, it's well known across the world and has a status which a few other companies may only hold. And looking at the diverse portfolio of products and services, it not just amplifies itself with Facebook, but Instagram, WhatsApp, etc. And it's planning to build many more on the side. So it's a huge powerhouse of all products and innovation and services. Coming to weaknesses, it has a lot of concerns with data privacy and security, which faced many customer backlash and also political and legal issues with. There's too much of a reliance on advertising revenue, which makes it a pigeonhole in case there ever is any leak or ever is any competition within that space. Now, taking a look at the other thing is political regulatory risks. There are many data laws that are coming into effect not just in the U.S. but in Europe as well, which comes directly face to face with Facebook's primary source of income. That's its user data. Coming to opportunities, there are many opportunities as we discussed with Facebook. The one is going to be expanding to new markets, as it kind of has a good sense of customer loyalty across the United States and even outside the United States and countries within Asia. It needs to focus on monetizing and making sense of these customer data and sense of these customer services which they provide. It also would want to focus on diversification of these revenue streams, like we discussed. Focusing too much on advertising is a double-edged sword. And also focusing on emerging technologies like virtual and augmented reality could be the future of the company as it moves on to build the next innovative platform for social collaboration. Coming to threats, there is also the risk of increasing competition from other competitors who are looking to steal market share from the advertising revenue stream. There is changing customer behavior with new generations of people coming in as customers. They want to make sure they adapt to their liking and customer personas. There's also a lot of risk on regulatory, political, and data privacy laws that needs to be taken into account. Now, coming to the conclusion, like I said, SWOT is a great tool and a foundational tool for a good analysis on a high level for both leadership and risk management teams moving forward. But also, it has many limitations. And we also take a look at the modifications by adding more data sources, by utilizing stakeholder perspectives a little bit more, but focusing a little bit deeper into the market analytics. It can be a great tool for building a sound foundational understanding of a company on where the next outlook is on both avenues of internal and external analysis. Thank you for listening to the presentation.